Are you a transitional person when it comes to relationships? So, are you a transitional person when it comes to relationships? But are we transitional? And this is specifically coming up from the message. Our pastor's wife, huh?
If you say it one more time, we gonna have a problem. It's transactional.
What I say, transitional? I mean, you transitioning.
you.
I said it one more time. I'm glad you. Well, this is your question. Are you a transactional person when it comes to relationships? I think in our relationship we used to be. I swear we used to be, because we used to compete about who can do the better gifts.
We still got some transactional things. I mean, I don't think there's anyone that doesn't have, it's transactional, but not with malice. You know what I'm saying? Like, not with a motive because this is what I thought of or came up with. Where you have some people who are tit for tat.
Mm-hmm.
So, because that was me. Tit for tat. Got to get my lick back. So, but that was a good, that was a part of service. And First Lady talked about it.
It depends, though.
And it was a good, like, conversational piece to use because you may be a person that's just genuine. And from your heart, you just do things.
But also, you can be that person that's genuine and do things from the heart and actually mean it, but be put in a situation where your partner is forcing you to be in that mindset of a transactional person, even though that wasn't the intent. I feel like if in the beginning when I made this spur of the moment situation in my mind without any like thoughts of getting anything in return, and then you piss me off, and then I got to be like, I've done this multiple times with her, but it's me. Like, you know, I'm him. You know, I did this for us. Yeah, but I don't feel like I should be penalized for now having to defend myself in that way because I'm not being heard by trying to utilize the right phrases that doesn't make me seem like a transactional person in the relationship.
It wouldn't make you seem like a transactional person if you deal with the situation at that moment. When you don't deal with it at that moment, and you're not getting what I'm saying, or you wait and go into it, then that's like a transaction because now you're deciding that you want to be in a bartering situation.
That's not what I'm saying. I see what you're saying,
but that's what it's saying. It's like what you interpret things and how I interpret could be completely different. But it can mean the same thing. But the way I say it seems more harsh than if you was to say it.
All right, for example. And specifically, this is why this question relates to us a little bit. We had a disagreement not too long ago about our vehicle being fixed. We had already had a discussion where we had agreed upon not going into this situation to have this person fix the vehicle, because I just didn't like the vibe the person gave off. We both agreed upon this, but when someone else said that they knew and recognized this person, it changed the agreement that we had, and it was no longer agreement for me. It was an agreement that she had made for herself with someone else that didn't have nothing to do with this situation. So in turn, while I'm trying to explain this to her, she wasn't hearing me. So for her to hear me and get her to actually listen to what I'm saying, I had to then say things that in the moment, I didn't mean that, but I said it to get her attention so she could hear me. But she said, I am getting sick and tired of you throwing that in my face as if you really aren't doing this for us. You're doing this because you don't have no other choice to do it. In that moment, what I was trying to get her to hear was you wasn't hearing what I was saying. That we had already agreed on the path that we were going on as it relates to this situation.
And I led astray.
Holy hold up. This 3 bars in a row. I get the motherfucker give her applause.
Man, whatever.
This nigga's admitting. The fucking take you 4 weeks to admit to that.
You ain't gonna get over it unless I say something, so.
Oh, so you just doing this for shit? That's some goddamn bullshit.
Transaction. Nah, babe.
I also like when Pastor said, man, when someone say that you should probably talk to somebody or you need to have a conversation with somebody, chances are it's not going to be a good conversation. And I've been in that situation multiple times where, like, I needed to have this conversation with this person, but maybe the way my direction wasn't proper.
Your delivery?
My delivery wasn't. You ain't had to laugh. You just corrected me. Thank you.
I was trying to figure out where you was going.
And help the people figure out where I'm going.
So your directions for me wasn't working, but once you deliver it.
Yeah, like sometimes my delivery can be aggressive, and not with my with my wife too. I just agree.
Punk.
I'm a punk when
You're
it comes to
punk. Yep. You're a punk. Because you ain't going to say nothing at that moment. You're going to sit on it and try to build up some shit. So you're a punk.
For her to say a punk, that just tells you that she understands I don't like conflict. Thank you.
A punk.
That doesn't make me a punk. It does.
It makes you a punk because then you come back days later or so and then want to have all this to say. Then you want to have your chest out. Or for me to say something and you be like the Homer Simpson back in the bushes.
I never thought about it like that. I guess maybe I'm not a punk, but
what you looking at? Not gonna do that to you.
I think it's hard to avoid transactional relationships, though. I mean,
but there's a difference with
malice versus
having
genuine.
some malice and it's just a genuine thing.
Yeah.
But like she was saying, is you don't. Sometimes being a transactional person can rub other people wrong or turn your good deed or what you thought was because the person you are. Somebody takes it as, oh, you did this for me, so now I have to do something for you. Like I'm obligated. And that was never the thing like, oh, I gave you something, and so now you gotta give me something. No.
Yeah, like she gave an example of her husband giving someone a gift, and they took that gift to buy him a gift, and he didn't know how to feel about that. And he was a little thrown aback about it.
So he said, I won't give him no more gifts.
So then does that make
they turn a good deed into a transaction? Yeah, because it wouldn't have been a transaction if they would have never got him a gift.
But does that make him?
So it turned Pastor off because he was just genuine. That's just him.
Yeah, but then should Pastor feel a certain? I mean, should we feel as if it wouldn't have been a transactional thing if Pastor had just accepted it without catching feelings about it? Because it's almost like you got to think, like she explained, Pastor always giving. He's always giving. He goes above and beyond. So if someone took the time to give to him or fill his cup up, should he feel a certain way regardless if they turned his gift into a gift for him? Sometimes
that thing. I can see. So how I took it is me and this person been friends for years.
Mm-hmm.
They never bought me a gift,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I just decide, you know what? They going through whatever. Let me go get them something.
Yeah.
And give it to them as a gift. When you in turn now get me a gift, like for what? You could, thank you card, but now you want to purchase something for me because you feel like you obligated because I did it for you when you never did it.
Okay. I see what you mean. So now I don't choose the time that I gotta give to give you a
because
gift.
I can see if that person gave him a gift
because it doesn't seem genuine
a year
at
or
this
two
point.
ago, right?
Yeah,
and then here it is 2-3 years later. I'm giving you a gift.
Oh, okay. Then let's switch it up a little bit. How about the person that gives you a compliment and then you go into like where you got it from, all this extra stuff without just saying thank you to the compliment? Because for me, I do compliments all the time. If I ain't seen nobody in a while, I'm consistent too. I'm like, man, look at you. I see you. Man, X, Y, and Z. And they be like, no, I see you too. No one ever says thank you. I'd be like, thank you. Thank you for seeing me.
Right, but then just when you, as an honest person, will correct them and say, like she said, the lady said, just say thank you. Like, just say thank you. Like, what you're doing is like offensive to me because I'm giving
Would
you a
you be
compliment.
offended though?
That can be, if that's how you feel.
Because you may say whatever you giving the person a compliment looks good on them. It doesn't necessarily mean I need to get the information about what you got so I can go get it. Because that may not be my speed. It may just be your speed, and I just think it looks amazing on you.
Right, but then that's when you say something. If you feel that way, like, don't let it linger. That was the biggest message of it all. If there's a issue, a problem, or you don't like how somebody's doing something, you don't have to go and be rah, rah, rah to say it to them. You can politely say, what you said offended me. And that person can, if she said, if they're walking in Lord's path, doing the right, they will say, okay, I apologize if I offended you. How did I offend you? And then you can say, you offended me because I just gave you a compliment and you just went on about what you did and how you got it instead of just acknowledging that I gave you a compliment and saying thank you.
What about the transactional things that happen in the workplace? I think we all jocking.
That's different. Like she said, that's different. Because of course, I go to work to get paid.
Yeah, I know that's different. You ain't let me finish my thought, but I'm glad you shut me up and said it's different. I ain't got nothing else now. You don't do my shit. We was on 495 and you was exiting for Branch Avenue, and I wanted to keep straight. You forced me over to Branch Avenue.
Because I wanted to get a boba.
Oh, shut up.